How's it going, guys? Here with another video. I thought I would share my 10-gallon tank with you guys. This is the first time I actually tried to do some kind of planet, like a planet tank with like real plants and stuff. There's no CO2 in this. It's just a decent light. If you want to know what kind of light this is, it's the Paw Fly. You get it on Amazon. I have a video for it. And in that video, you'll see this tank in its early stages. I just basically had what is it? Anubias everywhere, Anubias Nano and stuff like that. Driftwood. It was like that for a while. I didn't like where it went, and the deeper I got into like other people's videos and stuff, the more I was like, I gotta reshape this tank, right? That's also when I started getting into like how cool would it be to run a tank that was all cold water species. So I did this basically, and I realized that a lot of these plants do fine in the same temperature that these fish do. I keep this tank at 68 degrees. There's some days that it's really cold and I don't turn the heater on in my house, and it gets down to 66, but that's rare, and it's mostly because if it's 66 in there, I'm pretty much feeling that cold as well. So we just turn the heat up. The room temperature here normally is about 74, 72, so this tank stays about 68. In here right now, I have a few different species of plants and fish. It's easier to go through the plants, mostly because I forgot to do my research on like half of the plants. So, oh shoot, I was choking. So I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. That's, that sucks not to know names, but they're all. I'll get to it right now, basically. So on the left right here, we have Crypt Parva that was given to me by a local fish store. Really nice guy. He gave me a few actually. There's another one right there behind the sturgeon repens, and there's a few more over here. I don't know if they're doing good or not, to be honest. I've been there for a while. From what I've heard, and what he told me too, the guy, the owner of the store was said, if you get to make more, basically let me know. He's like, I'll pay you or whatever. But yeah, no, it's not been going very well. They're just staying alive. They're not really doing anything else. So whatever, it's a cool plant though. It looks nice. And then above that we have pearlweed. I love pearlweed. I found out about pearlweed because of a local fish store called Pet Zone. Oh, by the way, the people who gave me these parva, the cryptocorn parva, the store is called Coastal Gem USA here in San Diego. This pearlweed I got from Pet Zone in Kearney Mesa. It's in San Diego County, and they just gave me, I think it was like 3 stems, little ones, not like they're like half the length of these. Gave me like 3 pieces, maybe like a couple months ago, and it's been going really good. I've actually trimmed a lot of this and put it on my other tank, and it's been doing okay. Actually, well, I just recently did that. The bush was thick in the back as well, but I cut most of that and I put it in my 29-gallon, and that was very recent, so I'm not sure how it's going to handle it. It's a lot less light over there. Here it's a little more intense. Again, shout out to this light. This light is awesome. Check my video out about the light. Over here I got Christmas moss that again I got it from my local store, Pet Zone. They had a special during December. Any purchase you got, they'd give you a little baggie of Christmas moss, and they gave me a ton, like a lot. So I got that. Back there it's see, I don't remember what kind of plants this is. I know that's a Ludwigia repens. It's never been read before. That's what I bought it as, a Ludwigia repens, but who knows if it's ever going to turn anything. Or if there's different species. I think some of the Ludwigia stays green. I think this is one of those. This one over here, and the corner over there, and the needles that are right there, they're like needle tips. I don't know the names. That's the short story to that. I don't remember the names. Unfortunately, The place that I got it at, it's a different place. It's called Aquatic Warehouse here in San Diego, really close to the Pet Zone one, and they have a big holding tank for plants. And you know, like most pet stores, they just, you know, they label down here, like they marker in like the name of the plants, and for the most part they'll stay lined up. Like they'll say pearl weed, and they'll say like, you know, sturgeon repens or whatever. And it just so happened that their stuff was all mixed up at that point. So when I asked that guy, he wasn't the most he didn't know right off the top of his like head, like he didn't know what it was called. And I don't blame him, because they also sell salt water there, and I'm sure maybe he's more into saltwater than he is into freshwater. So when I asked him, what is this one, he was like, I can find out. I was like, yeah, do you know what this one is? And he was like, we still have to find out. And I was like, you know what, I like how they look. I said, give me some of these, the back ones that back there, these, and give me some of these and some of these guys. Now over there, this corner, doing awesome. I forgot the name again. I'll try to find out what the name is later. Those plants are doing awesome. New growth with this light I have again. See all those little new growths down there. This guy, however, the tall one, I feel bad. It is actually growing slower, but mostly because I keep having this accident where it gets unrooted, so it'll just be floating. A lot of the stems will be floating. I'm like, what the heck? And that's just that air stone, that annoying air stone that I have there. Whenever I move the glass lid, I nudge it, and then it pushes the thing a little bit, the plants, and then they float, and it gets annoying. But that's why they haven't been growing as fast. But they still have little, you know, you can see down there, you can kind of see some sprouts coming out of it. Then the needle plant, I forgot what it's called. It has the word needle in it. It's supposed to be a lot fuller than this, but the same thing happened. When I was trying to plant this guy, the tall one, I would keep moving this one to the side. It was almost this full, kind of, and it just got beat up doing that, and I'm just not even going to touch it anymore, hoping that it stays alive. You know, here's hoping that it stays alive. Over here, another plant that I just told him to throw it in there. I don't remember what it's called. It's really beautiful though. It's almost like pine tree. It's the stem plant. So all these are stem plants for the most part, except for these guys. Actually, even the sturgeon is considered a stem plant, I believe. So pretty much everything here is a stem plant. Mostly because I can cut them, and it's such a small tank. Like this, it's only supposed to be like 10 inches in height, but with this thick bed I have, it's more like 8. So I can cut them and, you know, propagate easily. Over here I have sturgeon repens. I got this from a seller on eBay, and it's been doing good. They gave me like 3 of these clumps, the middle one you see there, and I slowly separated them. It's grown enough to where I was able to cut. I was able to basically duplicate those bushes at least once already. So I started with 3 bushes. I ended up with like 6 bushes. So I had them in a different tank. I had them in my tall 29 gallon, and they were just growing and kind of collecting some algae, because I have an algae problem over there. So I figured, well, here the light is way better, and as far as I'm concerned, sturgeon repens likes stronger light. And obviously a lot of these would be better if I had CO2, but the way I have this placed on my countertop, this whole tank, it just is not going to work out. So I just keep it the way it is, and I just hope that they do good. I know I have root tabs in there. I use fluorite. I do liquid ferts. Mostly, is it Sechem? It's not Sechem. What is it? Comprehensive, like XL. Is it Flovo? Am I tripping right now? Sechem? Flourish? The comprehensive one. XL I don't use because it has pesticides. I only use it when I had a bad algae problem, and I'm getting it again. Unfortunately, I'm getting that problem again. But that's when I use it, and supposedly you should be careful with the sturgeon repens, but I didn't have a problem when I used it to kill the algae last time I did it, so it'll be fine. So yeah, so the fish now, what I have in here is, for example, I have four, for now, just four orange sun-kissed neocaridina, orange sun-kissed cherry shrimp, I guess. Another name for it is orange sakura, I think. Awesome fish. I mean, awesome shrimp. I wanted to get some shrimp in here because I know they can handle cold water, at least the cold water that I'm giving it, that I'm doing, and I found out that these guys can handle that. So I knew I didn't want cherry reds because I just don't. I'm not the kind of, I don't know. I just don't like getting what everybody else has, I guess. And I know that sounds so like rolling of the eyes, but I just didn't want to get cherry shrimps, like the red ones. And blue, to me, all the ones I saw locally were too dark, and I felt like they wouldn't even pop here. They would just be like little black dots somewhere or something like that. Like they would just look like smudges instead of, stand out. And definitely the red wouldn't, like, it wouldn't contrast as enough. So I figured the orange is enough to make me feel like, yes, they stand out. And yeah, and when they're on the plants, they stand out. And honestly, I love when I finally get to see them, and I hope that one day they breed. But I think I'm gonna have to go out and buy maybe another 3 or 4 and hope for the breeding to happen. Then right now I only have 4, and I plan on getting more. They get a little pricey, at $5 to $6 a piece. I sometimes can't justify just buying 4 cherry shrimps instead of like, hey, I should probably buy some filter pads or a new magnet scrubber for the algae, or food, or fish food, whatever else. So I have those guys right now. I also have some CPDs, Celestial Pearl Danios. I got 4 of those. I have a video on those as well. I just previously uploaded again. Sorry that I uploaded that like this vertical. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize that. I'm still new to this. Apologize for that. 2 males, 2 females of that. I also have a small school of I think 5 or 6. I think it's 6 gold ring Danios, or tin winnie Danios. They're like a nano species of Danio. They're beautiful. They remind me of like a rainbow trout. So do the CPDs, to be honest. That's why I got both of those. The main reason why I set this tank up was because I wanted to get a little school of panda loaches. But unfortunately, I was only able to get my hands on one. The local fish store that had them for I think $25 and each, and they ran out. So they only had like, what I finally said, oh, I got money, I'm gonna drop like like $100 and try to get 4. I think they had a sale. I think if you got like 3, it'd be way cheaper than just getting 1 by, or like they would give you a deal if you got more than 1, but it still wouldn't be like they were gonna bring it down to like $5 each or anything. So I finally went after like a week or 2 of them having them, and they were all gone. They managed to get one guy. He was like kind of hiding under the sponge filter, and I said, well, either way, if I leave it at the store, it's gonna be by itself. Whoever buys it, it's gonna have it by itself as well. I might as well take it home, and so I took it home. I figured, well, eventually they'll get more panda loaches. It's been about 2 months since that happened, and nobody's gotten any panda loaches. So hopefully the dream doesn't die. I do want to get more. As of now, most websites don't have them either, and even if I got them on websites, we're talking about way more money. So for now, I'm crossing my fingers. That's why I put the CPDs in here. I only had the Danios and the shrimps, and I figured, well, it looks like I'm going to be waiting for a while for those panda loaches, which is good. It'll mature the tank even more, even though the tank's already been running for almost a year. Maybe 8 months. I think 8 months. 8 or 7. Maybe about 7 months. So I said, well, by the time I find, and then also look, you see that this is a funny story about that pygmy Corey. But anyway, so I'll tell you that story right now. The panda loaches, I couldn't get them right now, so I will have to wait. Hopefully, by the time I do find them, I'll be able to grab like a good 4 or 5, and then maybe the point is to hopefully breed them. But I would probably have to get these guys out of here, the CPDs and everybody else, but maybe not. Who knows? Just having 4 would be awesome, or a total of 5 or 6. But yeah, so that pygmy Cory has to is here because when I first made the other video with the LED light, you might have noticed that I had Anubias, like I said, and I eventually, right after those videos, I got like 7 pygmy Corys. I love those Corys. Those are my favorite Cory right now. And at the moment when I got them, and they were in here for a while, and eventually I felt bad. Well, I didn't feel bad. I felt like, ooh, I got a 29 gallon. Let me put them over there. Especially since I was gonna transition this tank into being a cold water tank. This guy, that pygmy Cory that you see, is the only one left in here. I was able to move all of them successfully except for that one, who managed to completely escape me. I thought I had them all, and then one day after I changed this to cold water and it had been running for a few days, I saw the Cory. It had been maybe like 2 days since I had done the whole transition of like adding new substrate and all this stuff. I noticed, I used to have my heater in here. I noticed that there was something behind the heater, like wedged in the corner over here. And I was like, wait, is that another Cory? I moved the heater out of the way and it darted. It darted back into like the tank, and I was like, whoa, that guy's gonna be a goner. I'm gonna give him some time. You know, I'm gonna keep feeding how I feed and maybe he'll eat. But I honestly thought, well, he's been there for at least, I don't know, 24 hours, 36 hours, maybe like 2 or 3 days. So I figured he's probably gonna be done. So I'll just leave him alone and he'll survive there for a little while and probably pass away. Nope. Nah. That guy's a survivor. He hung in there, and then I just started feeling bad because, it's a little bit colder than what they like. Although, when you read online, 68 degrees is probably as cold as they can handle. So, it's right there on like being almost uncomfortable for it. But at this point, I see it eating. I see it like frolicking and like just swimming around. It doesn't seem like it's doing bad. So I've kind of left it. I've kind of given up on scooping it out. Also, I mean, getting that fish out of here, out of all this, would be pretty hard. Same thing with the CPDs. They would be pretty intense to get these out, especially since they dive in and out of the plants, just like the Cory does. So it's staying there for now, unless I really get a chance, and I think it knows. It is almost never over here. It just never is. It's just always in these bushes and there or over there. It's never up in here in the front. The only fish that come up here in the front are the 3 Asian stone catfish or anchor catfishes. They're like mini catfish. You won't see them now. I'm not even going to try to look for them right now because they're really hard to spot. They are like the color of a rock. They're like marble, like brown desert camo. So they blend in really well with plants, with fluorite that I'm using. It's really hard to see them, but as soon as you even dim the lights a little, give it a few minutes, they come out. Maybe next time I'll make a video of them, but it'll probably be a bad video since you can't really see them. But those catfish are awesome. I knew about them since I had gone into the hobby like a while. Look, there's the panda lodge. A while back. I just never got any. So I figured, hey, I'll get 3 and let them loose, and they do a good job of like cleaning up like any kind of like algae pellets or little shrimp pellets I might throw in there for the panda. And but they'll do it at night or when the lights have been really dimmed. But yeah, this is my 10 gallon. Also, the tank itself was a gift. Maybe not a gift. It wasn't like the person who gave it to me was like, here you go. It was more or less like, I have a 10 gallon tank and I'm trying to throw it away. Do you know anybody who wants it? And I was like, I'll take it. So I got it. I had already been thinking about getting fish. It was offered to me. I bought myself this Marina filter, which I have a video on. I really like the filter. And then I went off and I just started buying little things. It came with this lid, the tank. It's like a specially cut out piece of glass, but it was cut out to the filter they had before, so it doesn't really work here, but it works okay, so I leave it. It also sits at an angle, so the water that gets bubbled up here goes that way anyways and falls back. So I like it, kinda. It's just hard to put this one where I want, like back here, because then the water starts splashing. And if you read my video, this if you watch my video, this lamp isn't the best at water resistance as far as I know. So this is my tank, guys. It's a cold water tank. Right now it's housing some Danios, some shrimps, and cool little panda loach, along with some cool catfishes, and one that's a stowaway. Alright guys, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, just sharing my little 10 gallon. I'll make a video about my 29 gallon soon, and a few other videos that I have in mind that I want to do. Like and subscribe. Thank you, and you guys have a good one. Check this guy out, by the way. Look at this, my closing. Let's get better lighting. There you go. Oh no, where are you going, buddy? You get a little bit better lighting. Or not. Okay, whatever, dude. Just do your thing. I spooked him, and now he's over there, chowing down on some leaves. Actually, they're not chowing down. It's they graze for algae and stuff. Alright guys, so you guys have a good one. Catch you on the next video, and go get you some shrimps. Look at these guys. Later.